Hello and welcome to BetaDen's second cohort showcase. I'm Linda Smith, CEO of BetaDen. Based in the heart of Worcestershire, BetaDen is raising its brand awareness and developing its reputation as a commercial technology accelerator focused on driving new products and solutions across a range of emerging technologies, which include AI, hazard intelligence, biometrics, cyber, 5G, and many more. In this showcase video, you'll see and hear the results from a culmination of participation in the 9-month programme. 6 incredible tech stories with real products and service solutions heading to market and the respective supply chains hungry for new tech and digital transformation. Cohort 2 founders want to hear from industry, investor communities and influencers, or if you'd like to know more about options for commercial collaboration with BetaDen's expansion plans, then we'd really like you to contact us. These are unusual and challenging times, and for early stage businesses, it is statistically rare that first milestone targets are achieved in accelerator programs. I'm immensely proud to report that not only has BetaDen been able to adapt and maintain support for this pivotal route to market stage, it's also evident that over 50% of these founders have made considerable commercial progress and in some cases created immediate opportunity for their technology focus directly as a result of the COVID-19 crisis. BetaDen is on track with its pilot programme series. From launch in July 2018, we positioned Worcestershire's ambition to develop the technology economy and increase the opportunity to offer entrepreneurship in the form of a commercial technology accelerator. We're now working on the next stage of development. Cohort 3 is onboarded and have commenced work on their technology commercialisation plans. Our main offer to industry is to make BetaDen a go-to solution for industry looking at cost-effective development in specialist areas of new technology, supporting business growth and commercial competitive advantage in an increasingly fast-paced global market. So, for today's BetaDen pitches, I hope you enjoy the 6 pitch deck presentations you're about to see, all very different, all with real technology-based products and solutions for the digitally transforming world we're living in and adapting services for. If you have questions you'd like to ask any of the founders, please submit via the platform. The BetaDen team will manage the Q&A session following the last pitch deck. All founders will be panelists and you'll be able to hear their responses. So I'd like to introduce Dr. Clive Summerfield, founder name Voice Biometrics Limited, today pitching his new company, FARX, a technology solutions business based in identity biometrics.
Hello, my name is Clive Summerfield. I'm the founder and CEO of Voice Biometrics Limited, a company based here in Malvern at BetaDen, and I'm here to present FARX, a new technology for securing online services and websites using voice and face biometric technologies. Now, FARX is a culmination of 30 years of experience in voice and biometric technologies. Back in 1990, I founded Syrinx, a company that specialised in speech recognition technology. This is recognising people over the telephone. And back then, this was a new technology which was a forerunner to technologies such as Siri, such as Alexa and Google Speech. Then in 2000, I formed 3SH, a company that specialised in the evaluation of biometric technology, and specifically the evaluation of face biometrics for border control and biometric passports that were being introduced at the time, and for voice biometric technologies for secure telephone services in the financial services area and in the government area. And then in 2010, I established Araya. And Araya is the developer of a machine learning algorithm for highly secure voice biometric security. And that has been deployed into a number of government services around the world, as well as banking, financial services, and more recently in fraud services for financial transactions. FARX is a technology that fuses together voice and face to ensure that the person accessing a secure website, be that a banking website, a government website, or your social media, is who they actually say they are. And I'm very pleased to announce that we also actually have an early adopter of FARX, Indiana University, that wants to use these technologies to ensure that students taking exams online are actually the registered students. So, what is FARX? So FARX is a single piece of code, or single line of code, that is embedded in a website to enable that website to see and hear the person accessing the website. And that way they're actually able to ensure that only those people registered to access services are able to do so. And what does FARX look like? Well, it looks like this, a simple panel which appears in the screen, and when you access the website, it simply switches on the microphone and camera on your device and will then verify the identity of the person accessing that particular website. There is no special software to download. It is embedded in the website and it works on all platforms. It works on PCs, tablets and smartphones. And so it is an ideal security technology for ubiquitous use across all platforms and all applications. So FARX is biometrics as a service. Now, biometrics as a service is a very large and fast-growing market. By 2024, it's expected that biometrics as a service will be a $2.7 billion market, with a growth rate exceeding 13 to 20% per annum, which means that this biometrics as a service is an ideal investment opportunity for those people interested in the technology and particularly the security technology space. Biometrics as a service, if you look at the market segmentations, just under 50% of biometrics as a service is allocated to banking and financial services, and 25% of the market segment is for other applications, and specifically here, educational applications. And in a COVID-19 world, the delivery of online educational services has become a strategic requirement for many higher educational institutions around the globe. So biometrics as a service has many applications across many markets. And when you're actually addressing these types of very large market spaces on a global basis, it's very important to have a razor-sharp marketing strategy, and specifically a beachhead customer acquisition strategy. Initially, our strategy was going to be around banking and financial services, but with COVID-19, that has pivoted towards delivering FARX for securing online educational services, and particularly our work with Indiana University in securing their online examination services. So what is Indiana University's problem? Their problem is, how do they ensure that the student online taking the examination is actually the registered student? So how can they actually have security over the examination portal? Now, Indiana University is a large university. It actually has 94,000 students and 21,000 staff. So this is a large institution with a large population of users and students. So the solution there is to embed FARX into Indiana University's online educational portal. And what this does is continuously monitor the student during the exam to ensure that they actually are the registered student actually taking that exam. And they can then log any inconsistencies or any issues associated with the examination. Now, FARX is far more than just me. What we've been able to do at BetaDen is to assemble a very experienced team. Between us, we have well over 100 years of experience in strategic selling, in product development and technical integration, in strategic marketing and forming partnerships with major channels, as well as our corporate advisory that is helping us with our capital raising exercise. The past 12 months with BetaDen, we've been able to accelerate from concept through to a fully fledged operating business in less than 12 months, something that took me initially well over 3 years to achieve in my previous startups. During this time, we put together a highly experienced management team. We've developed the branding and our marketing strategy, and we've been able to access grant funding to actually build out the proof of concepts and to be able to trial the new technologies for real end user customers. Well, thank you for listening to my presentation. My name is Clive Summerfield. I'm the founder and CEO of Voice Biometrics Limited, a company based here in Malvern at BetaDen in Worcestershire. Thank you.
Next up is Nigel Pugh, founder name Impact Aerial. Today, pitching his new company, Cydon Solutions, taking core drone technology and implementing AI data analytics to specialise the service offer.
Hi guys, I'm Nigel Pugh and my business is Cydon, and we're going to talk about our journey on BetaDen today. So a little bit of a background to myself and to also my co-founder, John Fairbrother. John and I have worked together for 30 years. Our background is principally in software development in large corporate American listed businesses in the event and notification space. So a quick background to my existing business, which is Impact Aerial. This is how we actually started this business and how we came into BetaDen. So we've been established for 3 years. We're a professional drone services provider, and we are independently owned and privately funded, and we have over 30 years of remote piloting experience. Today we have over 40 UK-based corporate customers, and I'm going to give you a quick overview of those customers now. You probably know some of them. Some of them are local, companies like Morgan Cars, Jaguar Land Rover, and we have a broad spectrum of existing customers today. But we're actually talking about the software solution that we created while we've been here at BetaDen. And here's a quick background to my journey at BetaDen. So we joined in June 2019 with our original product, which is called the Drone Data Dashboard, D3. And with the guidance of the mentors at BetaDen, we actually developed 2 new products. One of those products is the product we're talking about today, and that's Cydon, which is an invasive species vertical market management solution. And that product, Cydon, is actually now a registered UK trademark. So what does it actually do? So Cydon is a drone data analysis platform that it uses machine learning for analysis of public or private drone data. And then from that, we create actionable intelligence. We do that by normalizing the data. So the data that is imported from the drone is standardized and normalized. We then apply what we call the visual flight path, which is our method of recognizing objects and objects that have changed on the ground. We then apply positive object recognition and tagging. So what we have seen and observed with the drone and what has changed is recognized, and the AI engine recognizes those changes. We've specifically applied this solution to invasive species, and in this case we're talking about Japanese knotweed. Japanese knotweed is a very, very aggressive pest. It's classed as a pest. When it actually starts to grow in the ground, it grows and causes a lot of damage in a very short period of time. So it needs to be recognized very early on. We are talking today about the specific application of the Cydon solution for businesses in rail. So Network Rail is a classic example. Some of the solutions to remove Japanese knotweed can cost up to £40,000 per incident. So it's a large cost. So the earlier you can recognise the growth, the better. The solution we've created at BetaDen, the invasive species solution, has a huge market potential. Network Rail is one of those targets, and we're going to talk about some specific opportunities we've identified whilst we've created the product. So here's a quick view of how we actually do it. So it's an extrapolated object recognition that we're applying to the data that we've collected. And here you can see 2 frames of data, and we've observed the change in one of those. On the right-hand side, you can see the observed change. This is your traditional view of encroaching vegetation. Existing methods of survey actually require a track walk, so the team walks the track and looks for it. We don't require to do that with our software solution, and that's one of its great benefits. So the drone view requires no closure of the line, it's called possession, and we can fly over the line and look for encroaching vegetation without line closure, and that's key because of the cost of line closures. So as a result of our work, we've actually generated 3 brand new opportunities, one with Network Rail, that's worth up to £25 million over a 7-year period, one with Volker Rail, which is for the replacement of the beaching cut lines in the north of England, and one with Severn Trent Water for their pipe bridge network. What we're looking for today is investment. We're looking for £150,000 investment to help us grow the business. This is because we need to be able to scale Cydon to the large-scale corporate environments that we are talking to. So the next level, the evolution, will be version 2 with hopefully the investment that we're talking about today. And once again, my name's Nigel Pugh. My business is Cydon, and we've enjoyed our journey at BetaDen, and we've enjoyed presenting to you today. Thank you very much indeed.
That was great, thanks Nigel. Now is Paul Rhodes, founder named Green Gorilla Software, a well-being data analytics application.
Hello, I'm Paul Rhodes from Green Gorilla Software. I'm the founder and CTO, and today I'm going to talk about Train for Good, which is a product we've developed on BetaDen, which we're incredibly proud to be part of. Firstly, I'd like to introduce my team. We're experts in the development of mobile apps, web applications, APIs and cloud-based solutions, but what we're not experts at is marketing, routes to market, customer segments and validation, and that's exactly why we joined BetaDen. I started Green Gorilla Software in 2012, and we've worked with national and international brands, some of which you can see here. We do have two core services. The first is proof of concept development for innovation-led businesses. And secondly, we do digital transformation for businesses with large, complex processes, and we improve their workflows through bespoke software. So we're a tech for good product, and our mission over the next 3 years is to raise £1 million for UK charities. We're going to do this by creating charitable cultures within organisations and inspiring employees to improve their physical health through gamification. During our time on BetaDen, we've interviewed business owners, HR leaders, chief executives and fundraisers from charities to understand the critical needs to address. These needs are retention, attracting talent, charity fatigue and competition. Companies struggle with staff retention and offer perks and benefits as an incentive. Attracting talent is an expensive problem for growing companies who compete globally for skilled workers on more than just salary. And charity fatigue is a problem with the current Charity of the Year model, which relies heavily on employee fundraising and the dreaded sponsorship form. And finally, competition alone does not motivate the majority of employees and leaves many disenfranchised. In summary, companies must invest in a wide range of employee benefits and perks as a key part of their strategic growth. Our solution is a unique platform that incentivises every employee to improve their physical health by converting exercise into a charity donation to causes they personally care about. Our mission is to make every physical exercise count. Did you know that Public Health England and the World Health Organisation state that you should be exercising for at least 2.5 hours every week, yet only 1 in 4 UK adults are achieving this minimum target? Our solution is specifically designed for companies who are passionate about their people, their growth, their culture and supporting their community. The benefits of regular physical exercise are clear. For employees, sleep, communication and productivity are all improved, as well as happiness, the most important thing. For companies, they can attain and attract the best talent with a varied wellbeing package, and also increase employee advocacy through charitable culture. And finally, for charities, it's a new revenue stream. It's an alternative to the Charity of the Year model at zero cost and zero admin. Our unique solution is about improving staff happiness, well-being and charitable giving all at the same time, providing tangible benefits to the company. In addition, the algorithm at the heart of the product has been written to create a level playing field, so it doesn't matter if you're an elite lunchtime runner or a beginner looking for a reason to start exercise again. Train for Good is inclusive. We integrate with Fitbit, Strava and Google Fit to support over 30 types of physical activity, from alpine skiing to wheelchair basketball. End users, the employees, can use their own fitness trackers, and we use the accuracy of that data from the fitness tracker to then power our algorithm. Employees can support multiple charities from 168,000 UK charities, and companies can also control which charities to support. Our algorithm controls the donation to ensure there's no overspend and provides reports for the payments to go to the individual charities, at the same time enabling the company to control PR and taxation. At the heart of the product is gamification to ensure that we motivate and inspire employees to meet their weekly targets. We have a simple recurring annual licence fee for the technology, and we have 3 packages, each with a 30-day trial ranging from £250 a year to £2,500, with future revenue streams planned, including payroll deductions and match funding. Since joining BetaDen, we've spent a lot of technology time developing the algorithm that powers the engine and also the integrations into Fitbit, Strava and Google Fit. In addition, my time has been spent going out of the building and talking to prospective customers to really understand the market and to try and validate it. I've completed customer interviews and ended up taking the end-to-end prototype into these prospective customers, which has in turn created a pivot for us in our business model. It's amazing to think that 9 months ago this was all just an idea. So it's worth mentioning what BetaDen has actually done for us. It's introduced us to their network and created introductions into private companies. We've collaborated with other cohort members. We've had accountability from mentors and experts in their field. And we've also had, most importantly, the time and the energy to focus on taking this idea to market. To help with our customer development and prototype phase, we're looking to have more conversations with prospective customers. To date, we've talked to the professional services, accountants, solicitors, digital and creative agencies, as well as advertising. So we're looking for HR leaders in companies of 50 to 500 employees who'd be open to a chat and helping us develop this idea further. I'm Paul Rhodes from Green Gorilla Software, and this has been Train for Good.
Up next, we have Professor Prashant Pillai, founder name Cydon Limited. This is a commercial cyber security by design API.
Hello everyone, I'm Prashant Pillai, founder and CEO of Cydon, an intelligent decentralized data management platform. I'm sure all of you will agree with me when I say data is one of the most valuable assets held by any organization, be it the private sector or the public sector. But do you know where is your data? Who has access to your data? Who may have modified or perhaps even deleted your data? In a recent survey, 71% of organizations felt they did not effectively share data across their business units. And 75% businesses felt they had serious security concerns in sharing data across their supply chain. Collecting and sharing this plethora of data across different organizational boundaries and the supply chain is a growing global problem. And this has resulted in unregulated data sharing. People using USB sticks, CD drives, or sharing data through emails. To solve this problem, we have created Cydon. Cydon is an intelligent decentralized data management platform. It creates transaction logs of all your data transactions, encrypts and distributes these data transaction logs with the data in a distribution fashion. It authorizes access to the data via private permission blockchain, authenticates users using a zero-knowledge proof algorithm, and has intelligent algorithms for verifying data integrity and data location. Compared to our competitors, Cydon has several benefits. We provide a secure distributed data storage, so you never lose your data. We provide verifications of your data transactions and provide a real-time immutable audit trail of all your data transactions. We can dedicate access to the data depending on users, data, and time, have a fast data access, and can help you generate fully automated reports for GDPR compliance. And because we can keep track of where your data is within your organization, we can even also provide new learnings of business process optimization, because we can tell you where your data is stuck. We started our journey with the West Midlands Police. We were looking at solutions where we could share crime scene records between different departments, but soon realized that technology can be used in various sectors: pharmaceutical sector, healthcare, education, or the supply chain of industrial manufacturing. Our primary target market is the policing and probation services, and for them we want to adopt a floating license model, and that would see an annual UK market potential of £2.85 million. And we can see turnovers reaching 750k by year 3. Our secondary market is the pharmaceutical industry, where we can see an annual UK market potential of £12 million with a similar floating license model adopted, and year 3 turnovers touching 600k. So where are we at the moment? Our company has been incorporated, patents applied for, trademarks applied for, and we're negotiating IP with the university. We have a very interesting MVP already developed, with a large feature set already implemented, with an interesting user interface and a dashboard as well. And we're conducting trials of the system with various partners. So who is in the founding team? I'm one of the founders of the product. I'm a professor of cybersecurity at University of Wolverhampton. And my co-founder, Gregory, is an associate professor at University of Warwick. And together we have over 25 years of experience in information security. We have run various bespoke training programs and run several cyber R&D programs as well, funded by various organizations, and have over 120 publications within the area. Our BetaDen journey has been absolutely fantastic, and we've really enjoyed our time. We had immense support from the cohort members as well as all the mentors, but 4 especially areas that are key. The technical development, we got a lot of support from subject experts trying to look at how APIs need to be developed for the product. Looking at route to market, this was our biggest problem within Cydon. We were not clear how to sell the product, and we were able to finalize a B2B, B2C offering, our pricing plans, and we got a lot of support in developing pitch decks and how to pitch the idea to different cohort members as well as different audiences. And BetaDen provides an ecosystem of support. So not just the technical support and the business support, but also a lot of support for the entrepreneur behind the tech. So what are we looking for? We're looking for partners for running trials, early adopters and beta testers for the product. If you have a data management platform and you feel Cydon can become part of that, we'd be quite interested to look for B2B partners. And for investors in the room, we are looking for investment of $350K, which will help us going for the next 18 months. This will help us add the remaining feature set, carry out the trials, and add any other features required after the trials, and help us hiring our sales and marketing executives. I'm Prashant Pillai, founder and CEO of Cydon. Thank you very much.
And now we have Tommy Williams, founder name Wearable Link, today pitching his new company, PLINX, a new technology solution in hazard intelligence.
Hello everyone, my name is Tommy Williams and I'm the CEO and founder of PLINX. PLINX is a hazard management system that improves the health and safety of workers in the construction environment. PLINX consists of 2 core products. Firstly, PLINX Management, which is where physical devices are deployed around the construction environment to protect workers and reducing the risk of injury and fatality, and also damage to equipment. The overall goal of PLINX Management is to reduce disruption to the workflow and therefore project delays. PLINX Intelligence is a data-driven application that provides a robust audit trail to protect employers against prosecution and reputation risk, disputed insurance claims, amongst other features. The output from PLINX Intelligence is to improve operational efficiency. The hazard management system consists of 3 unique tags. The system helps manage workers' proximity to hazards and provides an accurate audit trail that cannot be defeated. The first device is called the Team Tag, and this is a small wearable device that connects to a construction helmet and protects people from the key construction hazards, such as falls from height, isolation or entrapment, hazardous substances, and contagious diseases. The second product is called the Machine Tag, and this connects to plant equipment moving around the construction environment. It provides a dynamic digital exclusion zone around the machine, preventing injury or costly collisions. The third device is called a Hazard Tag, and it connects to the top of a cone and becomes a clearly visible link to the digital exclusion zone, protecting workers and vehicles from hazardous places. The construction sector accounts for 10% of UK employment and 7% of the UK's economic output and supports 280,000 UK businesses. Despite significant improvements in job site safety since the 20th century, construction remains a hazardous occupation, with 30 deaths and 54,000 potentially life-changing injuries annually, costing the industry £1.6 billion. The industry is made up of 3 subsectors: commercial, residential and infrastructure. Infrastructure accounts for 12% of the construction output and is the fastest growing segment, with over £540 billion of planned investment between 2018 and 2028. Within this sector is transport infrastructure, which accounts for 3% of total output, supporting 425,000 workers. PLINX is focused on the transport infrastructure sector because there are more groundworks and machinery than in any other segment, and double the lost time injury frequency rate, which is the industry's measure of injury on productivity. In this sector, there is a higher investment in health and safety in order to hit the 0 deaths target, and significant investment is planned on major infrastructure projects, which accounts for around 30% of total construction investment. We have developed new and existing industry relationships over the past 9 months, We now have 8 trials planned across Europe, focused on safety improvements for major transport infrastructure projects. We have worked with project partners in the UK and with our distributors in Europe to develop key use cases and trials using PLINX proximity technology. The use cases developed are provided by the tags mentioned earlier and can be combined to provide a complete site-wide safety system. The use cases target specific problems identified by our customer base, including people and plant collisions, trackside worker safety, safety within tunnels, and personnel control around hazardous environments such as hot works. Coronavirus has had a significant effect on the construction industry. By mid-April, 65% of construction value was closed down, and it was estimated that construction output for 2020 will be reduced by 25% as a result. The latest figures show that nearly half of the industry's employers have cut their workforce by 80%, and it is predicted that recovery will be slow to ensure social distancing. It is likely that it will take the industry 2 years to fully recover. Without technology, it is not possible to monitor or manage social distancing effectively. We quickly identified that our technology could be repurposed to provide effective management of social distancing. Our team tag devices enable workers to safely return to work, sites to reopen, and productivity to be increased. We have fast-tracked the development of our social distancing product through HS2's Innovation Challenge. We have built pre-sale trial kits and have deployed them to our network of construction partners to get industry feedback before launch in July. We have been featured on the BBC's One Show, where astronaut Tim Peake tested our system at HS2's £1 billion Old Oak Common Station in London. Through market demand, we have started to build 1,000 products at our factory in the UK and expect them to be available for delivery in mid-July. We are also ramping up production capacity to be able to deliver 10,000 products by September to help ensure continuity to major construction projects. We have made a great deal of progress during BetaDen. So far, we have had 1 patent granted and filed new international applications. We have filed a trademark application for PLINX and submitted 4 new grant funding applications. We have developed 7 new products from the ground up and built prototypes to test them in the field. We have defined 5 new cases with industry partners and developed 11 new features on the team tags to support their deployment. We have built 100 prototypes for deployment across 8 trials and made over 450 relevant industry connections. We have worked with our UK-based supply chain to accelerate the availability of 1,000 team tags, which will be ready in July. We have to date secured over £60,000 worth of initial sales based on the outcomes of those trials. We have a clear vision for the remainder of 2020 and are seeking support to help grow our business. We're looking for 3 things. Firstly, we are seeking investment to bring our business in line with demand. We will use funds to cover pre-launch expenditure such as continued R&D and tooling. We will also build a market-leading remote support function to aid with remote adoption during coronavirus. We will expand operations to support our demand and will continue to develop our UK sales and marketing strategy to ensure continued growth after coronavirus. Secondly, we are looking to continue the development of our network within the construction industry. We are seeking testers, influencers, and technologists that are able to help promote the benefits of PLINX to the industry. We are looking for individuals that will help us to create new, immersive case studies and that will fast-track commercialisation based on user feedback. And finally, we are looking to expand our team. And we're currently recruiting for key roles in finance, sales, R&D, and operations, as well as having an interest in recruiting influencers and board members. And if you are interested or know someone that would be a good fit for PLINX, please let us know. And finally, I'd just like to say a huge thank you to BetaDen for all your help so far. My name's Tommy Williams. I'm the CEO and founder of PLINX. Thank you for listening.
And next we have Matt Atkinson. His founder company name in BetaDen is Utilise, today pitching his new brand, Simovate, which is a secure private mobile network solution.
Hi, I'm Matt Atkinson, I'm Managing Director at Utilise. I'd like to share with you today a little bit about our new concept, Simovate, a little bit about our business, some of the market trends that we're aligned to, the challenges that we're helping our customers to overcome at the moment, go into a little bit more detail about our new Simovate brand and the product line that we've been developing over the last 9 months here at BetaDen, some of our BetaDen journey and experiences today, and finally a little bit about where we're going and our future plans and aspirations. So what are we about as a business? Well, we're in the business of mobile services, and the world and the way we communicate has been transformed over the last 10 years by mobile smartphones and mobile IT. And that's in many respects led to some kind of pretty big trends. We're seeing a big trend towards mobile remote working and flexible working. But go back before COVID times, that's been driven by faster 4G and 5G networks. It's been driven by better Wi-Fi, ubiquitous Wi-Fi. It's been made possible to now have streaming and content on mobile devices that you couldn't have just a few years ago because of those networks. We're seeing a migration to cloud services and cloud IT. And finally, businesses themselves are recognizing the need to support more flexible and mobile working. But COVID-19 has really turned that on its head. It's transformed that next decade of migration to flexible and mobile working in just a single month. And that's brought some really serious challenges and problems that larger enterprise businesses are trying to address. So at Utilise, that's kind of where we come in. We help these organizations manage mobile. We help them to understand how they use those services and how they can better manage them. And that experience and that insight gives us some interesting angles on where we can develop new services in the future. And it's through that process that we came up with the idea of Simovate, because we saw 5 key challenges that the mobile networks weren't quite helping their businesses to address. The first was dealing with poor connectivity. Not everyone was getting a great experience from their mobile networks. We then found that customers were having real challenges with accessing their corporate technologies, their data centers, their corporate data, using old services like VPNs that were slow and unstable. Found that mobile security was starting to become a problem. This has become a real issue right now with COVID-19 because everyone stopped working in the office. They're now working from home. And people are starting to question and say, well, actually, we had really good security in the office, but what's happening now on people's home broadband? Have they even got a password on their router at home for their Wi-Fi, for instance? As mobile services are used, we've seen an exponential growth in mobile data, and that's causing cost issues and management issues for businesses. And finally, with more remote working comes a bigger challenge of how do I support those users at home, and especially when my IT team themselves might no longer be in the business themselves, they might be working from home. So that insight and of those challenges has kind of really opened up what we believe is a new opportunity, and that's why we've created this new product called Simovate, or this new brand within our organization. It's got a really simple vision: to enable businesses to create better and more productive mobile working and remote working, securer mobile IT, and to transform and simplify the way that mobile IT is managed. Our mission, if you like, is to help IT leaders really understand there's a lot more opportunity out there in the marketplace. It's not just the same mobile broadband or data services that you might get from the big networks. There's lots of really innovative mobile network services, technologies that can be blended together to create really unique products that can make people more productive, more secure. And ultimately, that's our business. Our proposition is to blend, test, and find these different products and technologies to create unique propositions that really are driving that productivity increase for users, making it more secure, and fundamentally making mobile working a better and happier experience for the end user. So in our business so far, what have we done? Well, we've found 14 individual different use cases so far for blending these type of mobile and cloud technologies together. And these are from remote workers that I've talked about already, right through though to different services like connecting IoT devices, working in the construction industry and with transport. The type of devices that we're able to help our customers connect at one end are things like laptops and tablets, but at the others are things like ticketing machines and sensors and CCTV cameras. To connect to those services, we have a range of different options that we've been deploying. So yes, single network solutions that you'll be familiar with today, but also we've been deploying brand new technologies like multi-network services that work across all of the UK network, getting the best signal wherever they may go. And finally, and quite uniquely, what we're doing is giving businesses the opportunity to connect to those devices, but in different ways. So rather than just using the internet, which is the only real way to connect to mobile services for most businesses today, we're giving the options of privately connecting to those devices, removing the internet entirely, removing the need for VPNs, so keeping things secure, keeping them working really efficiently, and making a more productive experience for the end user. So some example projects that we've been working on to date. For HomeServe, we help them rapidly deploy mobile technology so they could get their contact center workers out of a contact center and working from home, helping over 300 of their employees move out of that business to home within just a few weeks. For Stagecoach, they've been deploying our new technology of multi-network SIM for their remote locations. So, for instance, in East Scotland, where it's difficult to get a reception off just one network alone, our multi-network SIMs keeping their bus drivers connected, keeping their customers connected also. And finally, for our cohort members at PLINX, we've been deploying our secure IoT services that provide them with a private and secure network to connect up their wearable technology back to their cloud monitoring services, keeping those construction workers safe. So what's my experience been like working with BetaDen? Well, for me personally, the biggest thing was really having a spare opportunity, 9 months to break away from being the operator of a business so I could really focus on this new Simovate brand and concept. They've given us great expertise and support all the way, and that's covered areas like marketing, go-to-market strategy, and even on financing. Talking of financing, we've been very lucky to also get some proof of concept funding from Worcestershire County Council on the BetaDen programme. So that's really helped us to fund some of our go-to-market strategies, some of our ideas and our marketing activities. And finally, working with the BetaDen team themselves, they've been able to help us promote our products and services, done a really great job around the marketing of the activities at BetaDen and for our business. So where are we heading to in the future? Well, right now we're launching our brand new Simovate brand as we speak at the moment. We've been in proof of concept testing for a number of months with live customers, and that's gone really well. So our next stage is really to scale that up. We're going to be developing brand new technologies as we go along the way. We've got some really exciting new ideas that will be launching later this year. And our aim really in the first year of business is to get to £1 million run rate revenue. And that's really going to prove that this concept is real, it's got some proper opportunity. And with that, that's really where I'm focusing on for 2021, which is having proven the concept, can we now raise the money to really scale this from being a £2 million business to a £40 million business within the next 2 to 3 years. And at that point, my Series A funding is going to help me to build a management team that can help with that growth and also to develop the technologies that need to keep us ahead of the marketplace and keep innovating so we can continuously deliver more productivity to our customers and a more secure environment. So thanks ever so much for taking some time out to listen to a little bit about our story with BetaDen, the Simovate product. I've been Matt Atkinson from Utilise. Thank you.
How impressive was that? As you've heard, these technology entrepreneurs all have real development and growth potential created within BetaDen, but with global application opportunities in mind. It's now more crucial than ever to broaden the BetaDen support. Economic recovery will be challenging, but will also create so many opportunities for innovation to solve. This commercial technology accelerator model, based in Malvern Science Park, can offer adapted and expanded programs such as entrepreneurial packages to support future local technology-based prosperity. I think it's also important to clarify that the next phase from Cohort 4 and beyond, BetaDen will be looking at technology-specific cohort programs based on core emerging technology challenges driven by industry and industry sponsorship and investor agendas. Finally, if you would like to follow up with any of the cohort, please contact the BetaDen team. Now you get to meet our 6 founders who are all panellists in our live Q&A session. So let's open the questions. Matt at Simovate. Big ambition there, Matt, and obviously you were very clear in your ask. What do you think, considering, should we say, current economic times, are going to be the biggest issues for you to now move this and keep this project and this brand development live?
Yeah, good questions. I think we're lucky enough to have an existing business, so we have a good network of distributors, and we also have good customers that we're able to take this product out to immediately. I think as we grow, our challenge is going to be to find the right management team to really scale this. So I've got experience of building a business or a few businesses before to a certain level. They've been good businesses, but they're not very big businesses. So several millions, but not tens or hundreds. So what I'm looking for really is much more experienced mentors that can take me on that journey, help us to raise that money. And in this environment, obviously, my view is always keep innovating, keep great service for customers, and you'll have a good product and service.
Great, okay. Can I pose that question perhaps to Tommy now, please? Same question. Can you unmute yourself, Tommy?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah, it's kind of following on from, should we say, the tremendous progress that you've made in BetaDen and the way PLINX is developing and adapting around the COVID situation for the construction industry. So for you now, if you had to kind of say for the rest of 2020 and into early 21, what are the key milestones you've got to address?
So in the short term, it's about deploying with as many clients as we can to get real customer feedback before we sort of sign off on the final product as far as the solution that we're offering, and then adapting and scaling that operation so that we can reduce as much disruption as possible. I think in the industry it's likely to be, as I said in the presentation, up to 2 years of disruption. And so we're just trying to tackle that head on. So we just need to adapt our product as much as possible and get as many out the door this year so that we can, we can scale the business going forward. I think you're on mute now.
I will unmute myself. Okay. Thanks for that, Tommy. We've got a question about investment, which I'd like to perhaps direct to Clive Summerfield. Have you seen an impact on the funding environment and the remote onboarding and hiring issues? So, Clive, I know obviously your FARX deck is very much about your investment pathway and access. Could you give us a kind of take? Here we are in June 2020, what you're feeling from the market and from your previous experience in investment relations.
Right. Well, well, thank you for the question. The investments, particularly in online services, are very attractive at the moment. You've seen over the past 3 months a massive dislocation in the market, a massive disruption in the market, with online services essentially becoming the norm, and even having conference calls such as we're having at the moment, where voice and face biometric technologies and voice and face communications remotely online have become the new normal. And I think the appetite for investors in this space is actually quite high. And we've actually seen quite a lot of interest in investing in the type of proposition that we're proposing with FARX. So from that perspective, I think the investment community is looking for these types of opportunities and these types of technologies. And I think that we will see a large uptick in investment in online technologies, and particularly around the security of online technologies. And many of the cohort members are involved in secure communications and secure online services. So that's my take on the current investment space, and we're actually getting quite a bit of interest in the FARX proposal. Thank you, Linda.
Okay, thanks. Can I pose a question to Prashant now, please? From the cyber and the Cydon product development that you're progressing, the challenge about the adoption and the diversification of, should we say, your future license users, what are your plans around kind of taking that forward, particularly, as I said, for the remainder of 2020?
Right, so I mean, I think very similar to what Clive was mentioning, we've seen quite a rise in interest in Cydon and what Cydon actually tries to do, especially in the current situation where many of us are working from home, and we're trying to share data across different platforms and keeping track of exactly what's happening with the data when you've got different people working from different locations now actually accessing and changing things. So there's definitely been a huge interest within on the product itself. And what we're now trying to do is make sure that for the remainder of the year, or the remaining 6 months, is to try and get that MVP into a more commercial product that we're comfortable to roll out and launch by the end of the year, so that businesses can actually buy that product. So at the moment, it's very much into beta testing phase, where we're making sure it's ready to be rolled out commercially.
We have a question in for Nigel for Cydon Solutions. Is Cydon purely a software offer, and can that be adapted as you're kind of developing this this wider drone tech solution?
That's a good question. I was actually trying to answer it in the text box, so you've beaten me to it. The answer today is, of course, we're a platform solution based on a physical device. So the data that's flowing in from the drone is then analysed and captured on a machine, effectively a server, to do the analysis. We're looking to develop the product further to go to more of a software as a service, so people will be able to log in and capture the data. And do the analysis remotely from a client, but we haven't got there yet. So yes, that's the answer, and that's the development, the roadmap for the product.
Okay, thank you. And a question for Train for Good. If ever there was a product to, should we say, stimulate, motivate staff wherever they are remotely working, any thoughts on, should we say, jumping on, should we say, the opportunity out of this huge global pandemic? Is there any way that you could, should we say, speed up your route to market, Paul?
Yeah, I mean, I think definitely. I mean, the sad reality is, I mean, I choose to work from home, so we've been a remote team for 8 years, but I know a lot of people have been thrust into this home working, family and everything else, and I know that there's a lot in the press and also in the social space around the impact on mental health as a result of obviously both the lockdown and, you know, just the environment. So I think if there's one thing, and you saw it throughout COVID lockdown as well as we're coming out of it, the need to exercise and keep yourself healthy. So if we can contribute and give somebody a reason to go and try new forms of exercise or to stay active, I mean, that's one of the best ways to combat the predicament that we're all in. So I think there's also schemes, you know, they talked about cycling to work and stuff. So I think actually, there is a huge opportunity for companies as well to really put focus on well-being as we head back into workplaces and different ways of working. I think as well, companies won't rush back to just open the doors, so they'll need to have a long-term contingency. And I know companies with 1,000 employees where they're questioning the office space that they actually need. So it's, whilst they might go back, it might be more of a hot desk solution. So yeah, I think keeping your employees loved whilst they work afar is a key part of the strategy for any company, regardless whether it's Train for Good or whatever they use. So yeah, I think it makes people refocus and reset really. So that's my 10 pence worth.
Okay, well, as I said, we've got a very mixed audience that have watched the showcase film today, and that film will be available on YouTube for, should we say, a revisit, and for you to obviously, our audience to perhaps revisit the particular cohort founders and the technology of interest to your individual need. I think my ask to our audience today, and to people that have given their time to listen to the progress that our founders have made, is that these companies are all literally waiting in the wings. Some have made huge kind of commercial steps in the first stage, but now it's kind of the rollout and maybe, should we say, sponsorship investment for, should we say, a wider marketplace, not just, should we say, the local scene, but national and international. So it's important that you get access to these companies, and I know our companies all want to hear from those of you that want to kind of pursue a conversation more, obviously on the technology, but also on the commercial scalability of these companies as well. And they're all very much waiting to hear from you too. So we have some other questions coming in. I've got to kind of keep the time tight because we have only committed 15 minutes for our questions. So it's a question for Paul, again, is how would the Train for Good solution work for users who are limited in what exercise they can do?
It's a great question. I mean, the only limitation really is in terms of the fitness trackers. So we embed in, well, we use the data from things like Fitbit and Strava. And so the reality is, as long as we can measure activity, then we can put it into our platform. And a good example of this is, for instance, Strava enables us to record things like wheelchair basketball. And it's not that you've got to be an elite runner. We're actually tracking over minutes of exercise. So if somebody goes for a walk, they can benefit. If so, obviously I don't know the specifics of the the inabilities. But yeah, I mean, as long as somebody can take some form of exercise, we're not saying you've got to run a marathon, and you can partake from walking all the way through to, you know, wheelchair basketball, things like that. So I think it's very inclusive. I think it's a really good question, because where we do need to put some thought as we go forwards is making sure it is the most inclusive it can be. We don't want it to be something that's elitist and is just for people who can happily run a half marathon at lunch. So it's about inclusivity. So I think it's a really pertinent point. And yeah.
Thank you. Okay, and one, I think we're going to have to slim down the questions now, but one for Tommy. Tommy, what's the construction industry's reaction been to PLINX to reduce the COVID-related risk?
So I think coronavirus has been an opportunity for construction industry to understand a little bit more about behaviour of the workforce in general. So whilst I think it's been a positive, there has been a positive reaction, but also there has been other benefits that are enabled as a result of equipping workers with tracking equipment. So say protecting them from other hazards on site. And then the wider image of actually understanding what the other benefits are and how they can save money and improve safety over time is seen as being really valuable. So that's helped us in one way, I suppose.
Okay, and sorry, it's one final question for Tommy. Are you looking at a global solution? For example, the Middle East are very poor at site safety, but trying to rectify safety issues. So I'm going to imagine it's a yes.
Yeah, it is. So yeah, so we're working throughout Europe, or we're working at the moment to build those use cases that I was talking about in the presentation throughout Europe. But yeah, each country has a slightly different cultural approach, even within Europe. You know, Germany, France, and the UK all operate very differently. And we're learning those markets as we're working with different organisations in those parties. So yes, the Middle East is somewhere that has been highlighted to us as a need for construction technology. So it's definitely something we are looking at over the longer term. Currently, we're just focused on Europe.
Great. Okay. I think we're going to have to kind of bring our questions to an end, but I did want to give you the opportunity just to perhaps give 2 or 3 words around kind of your BetaDen. If you had BetaDen time again, would you do something differently? Okay, so very short answers, please, because we don't want to keep our audience hanging on any longer than we need. But if you could do BetaDen again, would you do anything differently? To Matt, starting the run around.
There you go, tricky one. I think for me, we spent quite a long time discussing and worrying about the different ways to approach this at the beginning, and I think probably would have just got on and quicker, built the prototypes quicker and just got the technology out there and tested it more. So I think we probably spent 3 months at the beginning theorizing about a lot of it rather than actually delivering it, whereas we could have probably been ahead of the game now a little bit more. So just take the idea and crack on. Okay,
Tommy, quick answer, please.
I would probably have started research earlier and listened to some of the mentors' advice to just get out and talk to people as soon as possible.
Great, thank you. Prashant?
I think probably more close collaboration with the other cohorts and other members and the other companies, which I know, for example, Utilize and PLINX are doing very well. So I think there's a lot of opportunity there as well. I think we've been too focused looking at our own company and our own product. Yeah, that's collaborative working. Definitely the purpose of an accelerator. Clive, can I jump onto you for an answer, please? Just a quick.
Yes, I'm with Matt and Tommy. I would have actually gone to market quicker. I think that a faster approach to market would have been good for us, but we're there now, so all is good.
Great. Nigel?
Yeah, quick one. It's just basically we wish we'd started about a year in advance, so we could have done a lot more in the year before, but it's been a fantastic journey and we want to thank everybody.
Okay, and Paul, last but not least.
I think I've learned to stop seeking permission to pursue the idea and instead to just seek engagement from prospective customers. So echoing what Matt said, really,
Okay, great, thanks. And just to wrap up now, I would, as I said, Worcestershire has taken the risk in BetaDen and is kind of allowing us to develop this platform, which is no mean feat. If you think again, not just because of 2020, but the need for innovation, the pace of this marketplace, and the need for new technology every single hour of every day. So I thank you, our cohort founders. I thank my team because they've done a tremendous job putting what should have been a public event into this format. And thank you to Shooting Reels, the company who put the film together. So I hope you will enjoy this. Use this film. It's yours to use. And we want the success for all of our businesses and keep in contact. And anything our audience want to know more about BetaDen or any of our founders, please contact the team. We need to put you in contact. And thank you for your time and attendance today. BetaDen thanks you. Bye-bye.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.